Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. For the people who have already subscribed my channel and for new people who have just found my channel, please welcome to my channel. Now, I am Yashwardhan, an electronics enthusiast and electronic engineer. Now, in the previous video, from the previous video, I have announced that I will be doing a new series wherein I will be telling about the different electronic components and the simplest circuits which we can use in order to test them. Before I move any further, let me first clarify one thing, that if you are a professional and working in any and you require high level accuracy in your work, it is always best to use the commercial testers. But if you are just a electronic enthusiastic or electronic hobbyist who just makes the video for just fun or for entertainment, this video is you can use this circuit. Even the professionals can use this circuit when they want to get check the component just fine in a quick amount of time. Now, in the previous video, I have talked about how you can check whether a multimeter is working perfectly fine. Then I have also talked about how you can use that multimeter to check a battery and the battery clip. However, now if anyone has missed that video, I will link it at the top. Please watch that video, and I also keep the link in the description below. Please watch that video. Now, in this video, let us talk about the other components, which is nothing other component or an essential part of any circuit, the wiring. The wires which you use to connect two different components. Now, in general, most of the people tends to ignore the wire, because sometimes even though you can see that by physically looking you can say that wire is perfectly fine, but when you are connecting them, the wire will not work because internally it might get some damage, or internally the wire strands may have got opened up. That is, technically speaking, they might have got opened up. So how you can check it? There is a topic of this video. Now, before we move any further in this video, let me first introduce the different kinds of wires which I will be using in any electronic components or any electronic projects. So first of all, this is the common type of wire that everyone might have observed. Be used in their homes also. This is a wire that is, just by removing the wire you have many strands of this wiring. This is called a wire with multi-core. Why it is called a multi-core is the obvious reason, because inside we have different strands of this wire. This is a kind of wire which is typically used in all the housing circuits. This is very much good if we are doing any kind of soldering or any kind of electric work. Okay, electric work. Now, next, moving on, the other type of wire which we will be using is a wire with solid core wire or a wire with a single core. In general, when you buy it outside, you just get in the form of a long wire, or it is rolled in the form of a rolled and you get in the form of a robin. But this is the most common wire. Now, if let's say you have got this wire and you want suppose this is the length of the wire that you need. First you cut it, and my advice is you always cut a little bit extra of the wire that will be required. Now, in order to strip this insulation, I recommend everyone to buy a wire stripper like this. You can buy any cheap kind of wire stripper. This wire stripper is only of 50 rupees, and it is a very cheap one, and it is very useful also. So now in order to remove the insulation, keep the wire at the point where you want the insulation, till up to where the insulation has to be removed. Just apply a little bit of pressure and just slide it open. You will see the insulation is opened up. Similarly, you can do it, but friends, as I have been doing this for a little longer time, I can get it clearly in a perfect go. But if you are new to this electronics and you have just recently started, it may take a little bit of practice in order to strip the wire perfectly. But once you do it will be very useful. And this is how I strip these wires and have used these wires also. So let's say now whenever you want this wire, this is the wire that we'll be using. In general, one tip I can give you is that in general many people they try to bend it with the help of a hand. That I doesn't recommend, because sometimes by bending it with our hand it might get little bit crooked and does not get into the slots of breadboard very easily. So for that in order to avoid that, I recommend you to use a pair of needle nose pliers like this one. And this is a very old one, but you can for this video I will explain it. Okay, just take this needle nose plier. At the point where you want to bend the wire, just keep it and just apply it. See, it is very clearly bended up. Similarly, at the other end also, you just screw and do this. That's the thing. So that's how you bend this wire. So now friends, next moving on, these are the wiring types that I have talked about. Next, you will observe there is a next type of wire which I will be talking about, these wires with alligator grill. These are very much useful when you want to just connect to different terminals and check whether they are working perfectly fine or not. And these I bought from Amazon and they are very good. Next, the other types of wire which you will be generally seeing in any kind of Arduino circuits are these three kinds of wire. This one is called the female to female jumper wire or wire. This is called because both the ends are flat and they are very useful in order to connecting two header pins. Next, this is the wire with having both pointing ends. It is called the male to male jumper wire, which will be useful whenever you want to connect anything on a breadboard or from a breadboard to an Arduino Uno. Next, the other kind of wire which will be using most commonly is jumper wire is a female to male jumper wire. This is very much useful when you want to connect the Arduino to any kind of sensor which is having header pins. Next, this is also a kind of wire. So now friends, by this I hope I have given a little bit of introduction on the different kinds of wire that will be mostly useful in the electronic industry or in making electronic projects. Now let us move forward and understand how we can check this easily by whether they are working perfectly fine or not. In this video I am going to be telling two methods. One method is by using the multimeter, other method is used by a simple circuit, a very cost effective circuit also. Please stay tuned. Now let us move on to the testing. Now friends, I have already shown in the previous video about the continuity tester by just keeping the wire keeping the multimeter in continuity mode and connecting it between the two ends. You can easily find whether the wire is working perfectly fine or not. That you can get in any kind of video. Now in this video let me talk about a simple circuit which we can use it. Now in order to build this circuit you require an LED, a current emitting resistor and a 9 volts battery with a battery clip. Now I will keep connecting keeper and the breadboard. Now on the breadboard keep your an LED. To the positive terminal of LED or the longer lead, connect your resistance, and other end you keep it at a free end. Okay. Now connect the negative terminal of this battery to the negative terminal of the shorter leg of your LED and connect this positive terminal at a little end from the other end of this resistor. Now if I keep this, the LED is going, that means it is okay, working perfectly fine. Now keep this. This is the setup which I will be using to test this circuit. Now let me give you an example. Let us take this wire and connect it between this. See, as you can see here, even as you can see here, you can see that even though I have connected this wires like this only, connect the wire here, it is not glowing. That means even though this wire is looking perfectly fine from outside, internally it is open circuited. So let us take the other wire. This is the wire I showed you. Just connect them between the connectors. See, LED is going. That means this wire is perfectly fine. Similarly, let us test this one also. Connect this here and this one here. See, LED is now glowing. That means this wire is also 41. Similarly, take this wire. These are also other kind of jumpers that are available in market, and it is glowing. So it is also working perfectly fine. Similarly, for this also you can do the same. See, it is also working perfectly fine. Now this is the wire that I have stripped, that I have removed the insulation in the video, right? So let us check this also. Just let me keep, it is also okay. Similarly, these are other wires that I have shown you also okay. Now let us check this wire. This is a normal common wire. You can check this also. Only thing is that it takes this. It is not ideal if you want to use it with a breadboard, because when you keep on inserting and removing from the breadboard hood, they might get damaged. So just touch this. It is also working. So this wire is also perfectly fine. Now let us check this alligator clip wire. In order to check this alligator clip, just remove this, and to this wire end you clip the clip, and to this also you clip. See, it is working perfectly fine. So this, the other usability of this wire with alligator clip is when we want to just check the circuits, and when you want to connect one end of the terminal to another oscilloscope also, we generally prefer using this wire with an alligator clip. Now let us understand how you can check a female to female jumper wire using this circuit. Now the circuit is similar, but only thing is that in order to check this, you should obviously use two male to male jumper wires to this, or you can just remove the insulation of a normal single core wire, and you can use that also instead of male to male jumper wire. Just connect them and just connect this also. See, the LED is going. That means this is also working perfectly fine. Next, in order to check the wire, male to female jumper wire, take a female header pin and just connect this. Other end is also having a male, so just connect this. So it is also working perfectly fine. So now I hope, friends, you have got a clear understanding about how you can use a simple components like an LED and a resistor and a breadboard and 9 volts battery in order to check whether wire is working perfectly fine. Otherwise, you can also use the multimeter by just keeping that knob of the by just keeping this multimeter in the continuity mode. Wait a minute. Yeah, continuity mode. By keeping the multimeter in continuity mode, and just take this wire. Let us take a wire let us take this wire, and just by connecting this, you will observe a buzzing sound. That means it is working perfectly fine also. Similarly, let us take these faulty wires and check. See, it is showing 1 or a little open circuit. So in this way you can check this. Similarly, if you want to check a female to male jumper wire, just connect a male to male jumper wire to one end and just keep this. And when you want to check it, just check it only for a few seconds, like 30 seconds or not more than that, because more than that you might damage the circuit of your multimeter. You should take care when you are checking this. So now friends, I have forgot friends, excuse me. Now before I forget, you can use a similar method which I have shown you in order to test here. That is, if you are using a male to jumper wire, you can connect male to female jumper wire, you can connect to the female end male to male jumper wire, and you can test it. That's one way. Or if you are using if you have both ends are flat, just use two ends, two male to male jumper wires, connect the both ends and keep it between the terminals, and you can check that. That's also a possible way to check it. Now friends, if you have learned something new from this video, please feel free to mention that in the comments. And if you like my explanation, please like this video and share this video with your friends. If you want me to do any kind of video on any particular kind of topic in electronics, please comment that also below. Okay, keep that in the comment section, or you can mail me at the mail ID given in the description. And if you have any doubts related to this project or any projects that you are working on in electronics, please feel free to comment down. And okay friends, I hope you have learned this explanation, like this explanation, even though the topic of this video is a very simple topic and very common, but it should be addressed, so I made this video. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to comment that down below, and I will meet you guys again in a new video with a new concept. Thank you friends, and have a nice day.